My HOA cut down my 3-century-old oak trees because they were supposedly blocking the sunset. So, I took away their right to use my private drainage pond and watched their million-dollar basements fill with water. My name is Samuel, I'm 62, and a retired hydraulic engineer. I live on a beautiful 5-acre historical estate right here in Georgia. Back in 2022, a developer built a fancy new community called Golden Oaks on the slope just above my property. 45 luxury homes. To get their building permits, they had to manage their storm runoff, and the only way to do that was to channel it into my massive 2-acre private pond. Years ago, my father signed a 50-year shared resource agreement that granted them access. With one very important condition: they had to protect the natural canopy of the bordering estate. That meant my trees. But the new HOA president, a real estate mogul named Richard, had other ideas. He decided that my 3 majestic 80-foot oak trees were antiquated and were blocking the sunset view from their new clubhouse. He even claimed they were a falling hazard. One weekend, while I was away at a wedding in Savannah, he sent a crew with industrial saws. I came home to a heartbreaking sight: 3 giant stumps and a mountain of sawdust. Richard had the nerve to send me a letter saying, "We did you a favor, Sam. Your property is much brighter now. Here's $500 for the firewood." I didn't waste my time calling him. I called my lawyer and a team of arborists. They confirmed what I already knew. The value of 3 100-year-old white oaks is a mere $500. It's closer to $90,000 when you consider replacement costs, environmental impact, and their heritage value. But more importantly, my lawyer found the key. Section 9 of the original drainage agreement. It clearly stated that any unauthorized destruction of the natural canopy by the HOA was a material breach of contract, allowing me to terminate their drainage access with just 48 hours notice. I had a process server deliver the termination notice. Richard just laughed it off, telling his board I was bluffing. I wasn't. At 8 a.m. on Wednesday, I got in my excavator and dropped 2 tons of concrete and heavy clay right into the mouth of the intake pipe where their runoff enters my pond. I sealed it shut. That very afternoon, a massive summer thunderstorm rolled in. Without my pond to handle the overflow, all that water had nowhere to go. It backed up their street drains, flooded the clubhouse basement with 4 feet of water, and turned the backyards of their most expensive homes into muddy swamps. Their attorney called me that night, sounding absolutely frantic. I told him plainly, "The agreement is dead. Your client killed it with a chainsaw. If you want to use my pond again, we need a new deal." And what a new deal it was. They paid me $120,000 for the trees and ecosystem damage. They also agreed to a new drainage lease that cost them $3,000 a month, adjusted for inflation. And the best part, the new contract specifies that if a single branch on my property is touched without my written consent, the pipe gets plugged again, this time permanently. Richard was voted off the board 2 weeks later. My pond is back to doing its job. The water is flowing, and I'm using that settlement money to plant a whole new forest of sunset blocking trees. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had a neighbor try to steal your